Hi, everybody. This is Chris,
This is Matt.
and today we're gonna talk about another world, or out of this world, or
Outer World
outer world. If you were in
is
Japan,
another
wasn't
name.
it?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Do you know why it was not Another World in the US?
I don't.
Because there's a soap opera named Another World, and they didn't want the association
Was it a
with the
soap
soap.
opera or was it the Cosby follow-up?
No, that's a different world.
Oh, that's right.
Right, totally different thing.
Totally different thing.
That's probably why they didn't change the title to a different world, though.
All right. Hang on. I gotta pause this for just a second because I want to do our intro.
Okay.
This is not a review. I feel like I really need to stress our intro this month. Um,
Oh God, here we go. We're gonna fight this month.
we are gonna fight this month. This is gonna be a good episode. Promised I tell a joke about told Nina like we're taking it to the mats. That needs to be a new thing where I come and I fight you.
Right.
Taking it to the mat.
Yep.
um, this is not a review. Every month we pick a game, we play it for the month, and we come back and we talk about it, our experiences. We're not rating it, we're not ranking it, we're not anything other than just this is how we felt and what we thought. And we're two assholes with an opinion like everybody else on the internet.
Usually
So
we're two assholes with similar opinions.
really, yeah. So I'm genuinely excited for this because we do not have the same opinion on this game.
No, not at all.
Not at all. This is our long game, or at least it should have been our long game. This was a very quick game to play. And
Yeah, I plowed through this thing in like 3 or 4 relatively intense sessions.
yeah, I think I got through mine like once I realized how angry I was going to be at it, I pushed through it in an hour and a half. I'm like, I'm finishing this and I'm just going to which
Yeah,
spoiler alert, I don't like the game.
and I love it. So I bought this game for the Super Nintendo on a lark when I was a kid, and I think it was really profound for me uh, because it was so weird and so unique and so different than anything I had ever played. And I wasn't good at it. I didn't really get it. I didn't understand puzzle platformers. But
hmm
man, the cutscenes, the visuals, they just blew me away, and they still do.
I will give this game full credit for creating an aesthetic that is uniquely its. Um, there are a lot of things I'm going to gripe about for this game, but I'm also going to give it the points it deserves, and one of them is that aesthetic and that polish. Now I'm playing the 20th edition version. Are
Same,
you?
yeah,
Same?
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally worth. If you're gonna play it, which you should.
Mm.
Uh, get it because it looks much better in high res. It's vector graphics. It's really stylized and it
Right.
looks great. Uh, I got it from Good Old Games.
Yeah, I did too. I think one of the things that's funny is um, I even said last time, like a lot of people mess this up with flashback. And the game I played in college was flashback.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Let's get the
I'm
intro going.
well, so like let's talk about this. This scientist is showing up in his Lamborghini Ferrari at his beat up lab.
Yeah, so this I love like the idea in the late 80s and early 90s of scientists and nerds as heroes is pretty great, and this guy's like fits right in with that whole kind of Tron.
Well, yeah, but okay. Tell me one particle physicist who's driving a Ferrari.
I mean, if you're having problems suspending your disbelief at this point.
I could have gotten past this, but I've got so many other problems that when I came back to play it a second time, so I could record without stress. So like, and then he goes into this underground layer that does all this scan. This guy's a supervillain. That's the only possible explanation that he's driving a fancy car and he's got all this high tech gear, but he looks like his lab's in downtown Detroit. No, it's a supervillain.
he,
You're
he's
playing the
a
bad guy.
he's a ginger scientist with a Ferrari, and I think that's just fine.
I'm not judging gingers.
Yeah,
I'm
what's with the ginger hate, you racist?
anyway, yeah, like
Project 23
I
is
like the
so
peanut
cool.
computer. That's the other thing I'm going to give this game a lot of points for. It's funny.
Hmm.
And it's funny and nice, subtle. Like it's not here's a joke and shove it in your face. It's
Yeah. Right.
yeah.
Yep.
But
Here's some particle acceleration
here's some
shit.
particle acceleration shit. He's got this high-tech lab that's got all this biometric stuff, but apparently he couldn't afford a surge protector because a lightning
Right.
bolt is going to send him to another dimension here in a second.
But yeah, this is a good introduction to like the kind of graphic style that you're going to
Mm-hmm.
be experiencing. Uh, but I liked this intro. I thought overall the sound in this game was really good too. Like it used music really well.
Yeah.
The sound punctuated events really well. That
This
that was a win.
this sound did, and it was completely unobtrusive. Like I got done with this
Hmm.
and was like writing up my notes and went, I don't remember the sound. Like I literally, it was just part of the game so well that
Hmm.
it didn't stand out or jar at any point.
A lot of it's silent, and then the music comes on,
Mm,
and it adds drama, and it's not
right,
one of those things where there's just constant music in the
right.
background where it gets annoying. Uh,
Which, sorry, go on.
I was going to say which I really liked, because it highlights the
Right.
drama.
And to me, it's all the more impressive then that I didn't notice it. Because generally, if you've got something that starts and stops and starts and stops, you notice it. That they folded it in even with large pauses in between. Um,
And so this is, in my opinion, this is where the game is a complete success. This game is all about the world that you find yourself in,
mm-hmm.
and it is a fantastic world. Like look at this. That's such a good, like a great cutscene, and the deaths are all fantastic. And I know, don't pretend like you don't like the deaths in this game, because they are great
I love the
and
deaths in this game
and frequent.
and frequent. Uh, we will talk about my problems with the deaths in this game, but the uh, Beyond Forbidden Forest style, always a different kind of gruesome death, is not my
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, that I love. I remember seeing that cutscene when I was a kid with the little
I'm
the
sure you did. I'm sure
spike
you
comes
saw
out.
it a lot. I'm sure you saw it a whole lot because we've got shitty controls. Your dog's upset about this.
My dog's going off. Hold on, I'm
Dog's
gonna
like,
let him out. He's having an incident.
okay.
You're embarrassing me on the YouTube show, you
Oh my
moron.
God.
God damn it,
Oh.
idiot.
So
He's
let's
got a good heart, but
yeah,
not very
but it's
smart.
still a dog.
Yep. Anyway,
Anyway, let's talk about the controls. Before we talk about the rest of this, let's talk about the controls.
so the way I classified the controls was like
Shitty?
Prince of Persia, but more responsive.
Really?
I found the controls to be more responsive than Prince of Persia.
Oh my God. Well, maybe I got to go back and play Prince of Persia again because
Maybe I do.
I my frustration with the controls was no joke. So you move with the stick. Uh,
Did
you're
you? Oh, I played it on the keyboard.
oh no, I played it with the gamepad.
Oh God,
So
maybe you should try it with the
I
keyboard.
might go back and try it with the keyboard. But like
You
I
won't.
remember the
You
Super
hated it.
Nintendo. Oh my God, yeah. Well, but it's short. Like it's like I can hate it for half an hour and try it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, like if you know what you're doing, you can finish this game in half.
Oh yeah. Once you figure out the puzzles, there's not much to it.
There's not much to it. But so
Wait,
running,
here. It's right here. My
yeah, I don't have the
Jaruba.
sound. Here,
That's okay. I did it. I did it just as good.
I'll get the sound on for you.
This is the iconic soundbite from this game. This game was made by a French guy named Eric Chailly.
I believe you.
I looked it up. Here we go.
Oh, maybe I don't have sound.
Oh man.
Sorry, everyone.
Well, he says my Jaruba,
My
and it's
Charuba.
great. And then you
Um,
get and then you get the weird gun.
you get the weird gun. We can talk about the gun in a little bit too. But anyway, so one button is action, which is your kick, your punch, your fire, your gun.
Mm-hmm.
and the other button is jump,
Mm-hmm.
and the action button is also your run button. So for me, the number of times I was trying to run and I shot my gun, or I was trying to shoot my gun and I ended up running somewhere was way too high.
Oh yeah,
Way too high, way too frustrating.
I
Um,
had I'd had no problems with that at all. I think it. I want to say it was double tap to run uh, on the arrow key.
yeah, maybe I got to go back and throw this on a keyboard. I was trying it with the controller, and the controller is brutal. Like, and the button would be weird. Like, I'd hold something down, but it would think I just tapped it, and so it wouldn't start charging my pistol, so I couldn't get a shield up in time.
Yeah,
The controls fought me every step of the way.
that's interesting because I didn't there were a few times when he didn't do what I wanted him to do
Hmm.
as far as getting on and off stairs, things like that. But for the most part, I didn't object to them at all. I mean, they're simple. Uh, I will say a very valid complaint is that all the combat is very samey. This what you're doing here, that's
That's it.
pretty much every combat encounter that's not a puzzle. You
Yeah.
you pop a shield or two. This is a great cutscene.
Hmm.
Such a cool world. I
Yeah.
love that.
It reminds me of the Psygnosis covers from those games,
Yeah,
like Ball and Shadow of the Beast, and it's
yeah.
got
I like
that same
those.
vibe. Yeah, Psygnosis is a great company. So yeah, for me, like you're watching what I'll call my second playthrough, but I redid so many of these scenes so many times that
Hmm.
um like my 80th playthrough, I don't know.
Right.
I had to get your help with that puzzle there because there's no clue that you can shoot through a door.
Right. And some of them open and some of them don't.
Yeah.
And that's a kind of a problem. But once you figure it out,
Yeah, well, but that's my problem with most of the puzzles in this game is they are that Sierra Death gotcha, and then you're supposed to play it again. But you don't get to pick where you save. It save states, and so it will send you back to wherever it damn well feels like.
see, I think that's a very interesting point because I think that the save system is uh it's a hint. It puts
Interesting.
you at the place you need to be. Like there's been times that I've plowed ahead, died, and gotten put way back and thought I missed something back here. I'm not ready to go forward. I missed something. Or uh and so sometimes it does you favors and it starts you right where you died and and that feels good, and sometimes you wind up redoing some pretty big swaths of the game.
You do. Like, so I'll wait till we get there. There's one particular spot I have a huge gripe with that encapsulates all my problems with the puzzles of this game. And I'm sure you already know what one it is because it's the other thing I had to ask you about. But like yeah, you're gonna watch me do this several times.
This was tricky. It's very much an action
It is.
puzzle
It's an
game,
action puzzle game.
and
And
a
like
lot of it is just
memorization, memorization
learning
and
the next thing
timing, and
that's
then
going to kill you. Yeah.
yeah, and that's I don't find that fun. Um, getting killed, and then having to do something else so you don't get killed. I would rather like have some clue as to what I'm supposed to do. Like that steam room. The first time I rolled into it, I didn't even know there was steam coming out of it.
Hmm.
Like you just die and then like, oh, well, I guess I gotta pace myself through here. And there's like 8 or 9 of them through that little run that will all kill you, but you've got like a postage stamp size viewport. So
Yeah. Great death. Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
you're
So
probably gonna get to see all the deaths.
yeah, I like stylistically, I really liked that that you get that little postage size window. Um, and I like I don't have a problem with games that you have to redo and redo and redo and redo. Like Hotline Miami is the one I always think of.
But in those, it's something where you're learning each time. This is just gotcha, don't do that. Gotcha, don't do that. There's no sort of tactical. I never felt like I was figuring anything out other than just hitting the right Skinner box button for my next treat.
Hmm. Yeah, I disagree with that. Some of the combat is like that. Um, well, you gotta do something different there.
I know.
Um,
I need a new controller. I need to apparently use keyboard.
yeah, that I think that would have helped you a lot. Um, but you do everything that kills you. You learn something, and
You should
eventually,
be able to not that my point is not that you learn something after you die. My point is I should be able to figure it out and not die. Like I should be able to be smart. And this game never makes me feel smart. It makes me feel tricked.
hmm, yeah, I mean, I did feel smart when I solved these puzzles. It's just that getting there is a lot of trial and error, and it doesn't leave you. I like that it doesn't leave you stuck and that it kills you. You you don't spend a lot of time just walking around back and forth. Uh, you either are killed or are able to tell what's going to kill you.
Well, you don't spend a lot of time walking back and forth because everything that's going to kill you is a good 30 seconds away.
Right.
I mean, it is, and this is one of the things. It's a short game, but it's packed. You are never
Yeah.
not doing something. And that's another one of the things I will give this game full points for. And it does help, you know, like your enjoyment of it because it was you were never running around trying to figure stuff out too long, too
Hmm.
hard. Like here, this was a good sort of good puzzle, but it gave me a clue. There were that this screen. Okay, pause. There's some bones, there's some wiggly stuff on the top. That's a monster. Here's your hint. When you see these in the future, they eat shit. Good
Yep.
puzzle.
Yep.
Let's talk about this next room. You go running, you've got to run past the first blocks and you cannot stop running. But if you keep running, the next blocks get you. So you've got to stop. You got to run, then stop, then pace yourself through. There's no way to figure this out other than just die 3 times
Um.
because you don't
Yeah.
see the blocks coming.
Right. Right. You don't know. It's figuring out the timing.
Yeah. And here's me. I'm shooting a couple times because I'm trying to run and I'm not. And if you run
And
into
then
that screen, even to just see what's going on, you're dead because
yeah, you have to iteratively build up. It is frustrating to die over and
yeah,
over
if
again.
you
And
don't like Sierra games, you are going to hate this.
I will say that this part was one of the more frustrating parts. This 3 or 4 screens here where you're avoiding the rocks and then you're avoiding the
Mm,
chomper things on the floor.
yeah.
Like I didn't like that. I hate jumping puzzles, and that's a jumping puzzle.
Hmm.
Um, I I I think another thing that you would find if you played with the keyboard, the way to get past those is not what you're doing. There's a jump that you can do, and that gets you through most of these situations.
There's a
The
what you can
running
do?
a running jump that you
Oh,
can do, and he like leaps and leaps and
yeah.
leaps. That gets you through most of these. So really, what you end up doing in these is not so much timing as toggling between the running leap jump and the standing still jump, you know?
Hmm.
Um, so I
And then
think again, like the controls did you a huge disservice because having to do I love that cutscene.
it is a good cutscene.
Having to stop and start running and all that stuff does I could see that being even more frustrating. And it was still frustrating knowing that with the leapy jumpy thing.
Hmm.
Um, but nowhere near probably what this felt like.
This gun situation here is one of the things that frustrated me too. Not this particular screen, but So you've got places where you recharge your gun,
Hmm.
implying that your gun has a charge.
Yeah, I never understood the point of those places. I never ran out of charges.
You will run out of charges in certain places, but it's
Oh, really?
completely cinematographic. It's completely for story. It has nothing to do with how many times you shoot it. So I'm
Oh,
sitting here in some of the game, and this is my problem with like puzzle games like this. You want to figure out the world. You want to figure out the mechanics. How does this work? What does this do? How does the gun work? Well, the gun is arbitrary.
yeah, right. I never experienced. I mean, maybe I did. I don't know.
You might just not have been paying attention. Most people wouldn't. It's one of the things where this is how I'm wired.
Yeah.
I want to know how I want to know the mechanics. Like he's building this great thematic world,
Hmm.
but no.
Yeah, like I didn't understand the purpose of the gun charging rooms. I figured that's what they were, but I never had my gun
Hmm.
need a charge, you know. Uh, but yeah, that is strange. I kind of like uh this puzzle though because you do things you're not sure why, but it feels like you're doing the right thing.
Yes, I don't like that.
And then but then you go back and you're like, "Oh, I did this. Like this was something I did."
But why did you do it?
Well, you don't know. So you can get past it.
Well,
That's all.
right. But like if I was trying to escape a bunch, from a planet full of alien strongmads, I wouldn't be just sort of shooting shit in a cave for no apparent reason and then climbing out. I'd keep running.
Well, I
Uh
mean, the thing is that you could not do that. Like I'm sure the game would let you get there, but then you would be stuck and you'd fall and
yeah,
ob- uh, you end up flooding the cavern.
you do it. Yeah, something else would punish you later. And that's going to be my complaint sort of towards the end of this video is you're escaping from the prison and you run into a room and you see your friend Buddy crawling through a vent.
Hmm.
Now, this whole game's set up like a chase scene. So you're running, running, running.
Right.
If you don't stop and watch him, if you just keep hauling ass, you're like, oh, great, he's there. Let's go. You don't see that he gets stuck. You never get that clue. And that game will let you truck quite a ways and give you no clue that you should be waiting for him or that you should have helped him or that you should have
That
anything.
that is the time where I got stuck, and that's where I was frustrated at the save game system because I wound up redoing that section so many times till I figured out that
Mm-hmm.
the one kind of gotcha puzzle.
Yeah. It's a
Um,
gotcha puzzle. And then it's like, why is the chandelier blocking an air vent? Who builds an air vent that way? And just there was so many just at that moment, the frustration with the controls and everything gave way to pure just absolute anger at this game.
mhm.
Like all my negative emotions.
But see, I wish we were at that section because I think that section is yeah. So you flood this cavern and then you kind of swim around and go back up. Um,
Oh no, this is
yeah,
too far.
yeah, that looks too far.
Okay, we'll
I
let this go for a bit because I think we're near it. If
Yeah.
not, I'll take us back.
So you shut that off
And you got
but
to
I think
learn where to swim in here to not asphyxiate.
right again, and you're right that you learn that by failing at it by
Yeah.
dying, but it does tell you like you go up that first one,
Hmm.
you see that you can get air over there the
Yeah.
first time you die, so it's not like there's 100 of them and one of them is right and you don't know which and you do
No,
it 100.
but like if when you came through here before, if you fell down there, died, and saw that there was a lever over there or a thing, you might think, oh, I need to go south. So like if you do what I did, you come in that room, you're like, oh, now's my chance to go down, but you don't make it because you don't have enough oxygen to go that way. So you got to
Hmm.
figure out where it is, but there's no clue unless you go up one of those two other things or just die and eat it.
Hmm.
And oh, mm,
Yeah,
anger.
so it it's how I had a hard time. You skipped the part that
Yeah, I
you're
skipped where.
talking about. Yeah, it's before. It was before this. There it is. I think it's around here. Go back a little bit more.
Does this get him?
Yeah, this is after you've been.
So okay, so you see him come in at the bottom, right?
Oh,
If you don't
so
stand here and watch, because you just come trucking through this room, so you might never. If you go in through the south door, you'll never see this at all.
so this is confusing because prior to this, there's two or three different levels you can come into this level on, and if you come in that room, he gets thrown into that room at the same moment you're thrown into it.
Mm-hmm.
So you see him down there, and you kind of truck along with him. Uh,
Yeah, but then you also got to like mentally brainscape what's below this room that might be pinning that, and you have no reason to know or clue that. Like he's frustrated with it, but that doesn't mean you can do shit about it. Uh,
right. So, but this puzzle is like archetypical of the puzzles in this game because
mm-hmm.
what it does, uh, the, it sticks you in a section of the world,
Mm-hmm.
and there's certain elements in those sections that are obviously interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the the ball things in this next room you're going to go to, those are like interesting,
Yeah.
and so you have those, but then there's also things that are not interesting that you just kind of stumble on
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. So you're mixing these elements that are dynamic and seem, and you know they're part of the puzzle. And then sometimes there's dynamic elements that aren't part of the puzzle at all.
And
And
there's
so
yeah.
you get all three, and it's just trying to manage those three elements.
Well, and there's one of my other sort of like nitpicky complaints is normally I would applaud this, but because of what you just said, where stuff's sometimes important and sometimes isn't, the flow between cutscene and gameplay isn't always obvious. And there's a couple places that's a problem. But the first one is in that tentacle pit. Like you've been watching this whole cutscene like at the start,
Hmm.
and you're gonna about to be dumped in some water. Um, and like you don't know you're supposed to be moving or anything. So it switches to this cutscene and shows you a guy there, and if you just wait too long, some tentacles come up and eat you. And you might not even know you'd started the game yet. Um,
But that right there is telling you everything that's going to happen to you in this game. you're just gonna you're gonna die. You're gonna miss like some little thing, and you're gonna end up dying a bunch.
I can't imagine. I mean, you obviously do. I was gonna say I can't imagine people though being super excited about learning to play a game through constant getting kicked in the balls. I just
I loved it because then when you finally do it, it feels so good. Like you either stumble on a solution, or you something finally clicks. You go back to some, like I love this is something I love about IT, working in IT too. It's
Mhm.
this constant process of getting stuck and getting unstuck. And I like that feeling of being stuck and then grinding away until something finally clicks, and then like you did it. You can go on. I love that feeling.
Okay, but with IT, you know all the tools are there. You know what your objective is. You know where you're going. In this, you don't necessarily know.
You
You're gonna get hit. So like in IT, there's a chance that you know enough, or you have the skills, or you have the something that you can possibly get through. And if you fail, it's your fault. And you know you can get better and you can get there. This game, it's always this game's fault. This game is always hiding something and then punishing you for it. And then you've got to like go, okay, now I know, and now I won't get punished for it in the future. But it's an abusive relationship with this game. It's
Oh yeah, this game is very
this game is
uh,
a bad girlfriend, bad boyfriend, bad whatever you want to call it,
right,
bad partner.
but
Oh,
in that moment it's so good. Like when you feel like when it's working, it's working.
oh my god.
Yeah,
I do
that's
like this
actually a good
puzzle.
analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this puzzle too. They introduced these little rolly ball things. I like that.
So, but this puzzle gives you all the clues you need. This guy's behind a bunch of shields, so you're going to walk up to the door and go, okay, I need a shield because otherwise he's going to fuck my shit up. I'm going to open the
See,
door. Oh, and then he does that. And if I just, and it's humor. So there's a
yeah,
funny thing. You use your brains to get around it.
I blew through all three of those doors about a dozen times before I realized that they just open.
I did it too. Yeah.
Because you get used to just blowing through
hmm
every door.
Well, and there's
But
another thing I was talking about like,
see, this puzzle, if you go back 1 second,
hmm
uh, this puzzle, I got stuck so bad at those three balls because I didn't. Did you realize that you can see his reflection in the
so
balls?
the first time, no, I just managed to get through it without any hassle. But that time, did you see like I dropped it when it was directly over him? So now I'm like, well, now I can't shoot any other balls. So now I'm stuck. Like I
Mhm.
gotta just die somewhere. So now I gotta go find somewhere to throw myself off a cliff in order to finish the game. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I had a hard. I didn't realize that you can kind of see his reflection, and I wonder how that looked before it was high res. If it was more obvious, less obvious,
Right.
because I just like didn't. I spent the majority of my playtime on this puzzle
Well,
trying to
and if
figure out how to kill that guy.
well, I was gonna say, and if you don't go down to that room before, you might not even know what that is. So it's just sort of like you're backtracking a lot. You're running around.
But yeah, it's giving you all the pieces though. Like it's dumping you in and going, there's a guy down there. Like they show you the ball. Like you kind of know, uh, just like geographically where he is. Like
Mm-hmm.
they give you all the pieces, but the thing that makes it hard here, like I said, because of the save game system is like a hint.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have to redo a lot of this part. You have to redo some combats. You have to redo a lot. And this was where I did get a little frustrated. Uh, so I definitely like
Yeah.
appreciate that fact. That it's
Well, and because you're doing backtracking, sometimes the save states are like with the buddy in the room, in that like crawl space that you got to help. There's a couple save spots within the same set of crossover areas you are. So you say it's hints, but sometimes it's actually confusing because I had to sit down and go, okay, now what did it actually remember me doing? Because I'm in an area I've been in before, but I don't remember if it knows to know what I know, you know? And
right.
yeah, so, mm, um, and and I think here's one of the reasons.
But see, you died, and it puts you all the way back here
Yeah.
because it's telling you that you didn't do everything in this section.
hmm
You really have to look at those save points as a hint.
Yeah. But why would you know to like look at the save points as a hint? You know what I mean? Like it's interesting that you say that because it does kind of let me look at them in a different way, but just from playing the game, there's no indication that should be. And look how long he's holding the breath here. Like the other place, he didn't hold his breath this long.
Yeah, I like the little bubble too. That's a kind of a hint about where you
Yeah.
can go. But of course, you're not going to notice it until after you've died the other
hmm
way. Still,
Right. Yeah.
um,
No, I'm a little bitter about that. And another one of the reasons I'm bitter about it, the guy obviously has chops. Guy obviously can tell a story with very little information because the connection between you and Buddy that's told with no dialogue is fantastic.
yep, that's a
You
great relationship.
you actually care about that guy.
Yep, yep. He helps you out. You help him out. Another thing I really liked about this section, I don't think it was in this video,
hmm
but there's a part where you go down there for the first time that the guy grabs you and like kills you and you like kick him in the
Oh,
ball.
yeah.
I really liked that because it was like it changed up the combat a little. Yeah, it was basically like press X to beat the puzzle, but I
Mm-hmm.
liked that it wasn't just another combat, another
Yes.
pop
Right.
a shield, big shot, little shot.
Yeah,
Con-
no, and it goes back to this game's sense of humor. The guy who made it obviously has a great sense of humor and knows how to deliver it really well.
Mhm.
I can't gripe that at all. Um, there are
Did you?
things I like about this game, but the gameplay itself, the game just oh,
I can't
anger.
imagine playing this without the runny jumpy thing. Uh,
Yeah, like the run and the shoot are on the same thing. And all they needed to do to fix it for the controller, and someone's going to be like, "Oh, you just do this and it fixes it for the controller." I swear it's going to come up in the comments. Um, jump is also push up. So you could have put run and shoot on different buttons and still I would have had everything I need, you know?
yeah. Did you ever play Heart of Darkness? That was the other game that
No,
Eric Sharik
no,
built.
no.
We should play that. I think it was a PlayStation game though. I don't know if it was PC or
Okay.
PlayStation. I
I can take a
forgot.
look. Yeah.
You won't write it down. You're mad at Eric.
I'm mad at Eric and completely. Um, no, I'm not mad at Eric. I think Eric has some really, like I said, there's a lot of really good pieces to this. I'm
Yeah.
just the controls were so frustrating and the puzzles are so die first, then and was doing it first. Now you can see Buddy up there. The first time I
Yep.
went, he wasn't up there. Um, and it's done for the cinematic, uh, the cinematic sort of storytelling, which I
Mm.
can get behind. But like this chase scene, is actually pretty good. You're watching doors blow up behind you as you're running for your
Yep.
life, and you realize you're at a dead end, and you can't shoot through those bars. By the way, I've tried, which
Yep. Me too.
but this
Yeah.
requires some skill to actually pull off while you wait for your guy to get here. But if you didn't save him in that other room,
Right. You just wait here indefinitely, fighting off wave after wave.
right?
I like that those dudes get killed by that falling rock. You can
Yeah.
hear the rock fall down and kill them. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, this part it's frustrating to get on that little back thing.
Right.
Uh, but like that scene where you're running in the background and you can see your
Mm-hmm.
little fella getting.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not little. I just call him little fella.
Yeah.
But that's a hard combat right there.
It's a hard comment. But it's a good example of like these guys can shoot off the screen and kill you.
Hmm.
We're gonna see that in a couple seconds because it's this part is where I stopped playing this time. And this is another one I've got a problem with. So here's this puzzle. You got to get across. As soon as I came up to it, I'm like, I can't jump that. Buddy comes running up. I'm like, Buddy's gonna throw me across.
Hmm.
So sure enough, he does. What do you do next? Now you know because you finished the game, but you're coming at this as someone fresh, someone who's never played this game before. What do? You don't know.
Well,
You you don't know.
you try to go right, but there's nothing else you can do besides jump.
Right. You could fall, you could do a bunch of stuff. But here's my other problem then. Once you know that, you should be able to step off and just go down and catch this. You've got to get thrown across and then go back. And then these guys shoot you from off screen. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember getting shot from off screen there. Whoa, look at you go. I think that might be just more of a timing issue with the game. But yeah, it is frustrating. A lot of the combat can be frustrating because sometimes the answer is run ahead and shoot really
mm-hmm.
fast. Um, because like I said, the combat's so samey all the
Yeah.
time, that you kind of want to avoid it because it's
Mm-hmm.
not. I would You can't call it fun, you
Yeah.
know.
But they're bringing their shields on when they're not on screen.
Right. That happens a lot. That does happen
Yeah.
quite.
That's rrr, rrr, rrr. Angry
But
Chris.
it's an iterative process. So this, boy, you're having a hard time with that one.
What's funny is the first time I played it, I did not. So the reason I stopped here is I literally couldn't remember how I got past this. This is as far as the video goes for this one.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of fine because I want to talk about this. I want to talk about how long the game is and where it's supposed to end, and we'll talk about the ending.
Yeah, I can. There is no part of me that can defend the ending to this game. Because I love this game. I love the world. I didn't object to dying as much as you did. I thought the puzzles were varied and interesting, but the ending is fucking terrible. And the last puzzle is so stupid, and the last puzzle's really bad
Yeah,
because it takes so long.
it takes so long. Yeah, so like
So unrewarding.
you get in a fight with a guy who basically beats you near death. Buddy comes up and starts fighting with him. You've got to crawl your way on your hands across to some lever and then time pulling it so it shoots him. Then Buddy comes up, puts you on the back of a giant pterodactyl, and you fly off into the sunset.
The part you missed though, uh, for one, it takes forever to
Mm-hmm.
crawl across the floor, which is annoying.
Yeah.
And then after he's dead, you kind of don't know what to do. There's only one thing to do because you
Mm-hmm.
can't walk yet. You have to crawl. So you start crawling back, but if you don't do it fast enough, it shoots you.
Yep. You get
And
shot.
the answer is to just crawl into the light part of the room.
Yeah.
And that sucked. And then he puts you on the pterodactyl and you go on to have a domestic partnership somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know what goes on there.
Buddy,
But yeah.
yeah.
So
Whoops.
so one of the things like I went and like looked up interviews and stuff with this guy afterwards. He originally took flack for it being too short. And so everything after the prison escape, after Buddy pulls you out, is added on from the original Amiga version.
Hmm.
And that he really wanted the ending to be ambiguous. He wanted you to kind of decide what happens to them yourself.
Okay. You still kind of can do that.
Yeah. Um, and there was a sequel to this game made by other people, and he kind of doesn't like it because it sort of answers too many questions and stuff. But
Yeah, I can respect that. I think the feeling of the game is not that you're trying to get this guy home.
mm-hmm.
You're not trying to get him back to his Ferrari or whatever. You're just trying to you're just dumped there and you're just trying to live and everything is killing you. I like that about the game. There's no we gotta get the MacGuffin so we can get the time machine and go back to blah blah blah. No, you're just dealing with it.
Right. And I wouldn't mind a whole dealing with it section, but I also wouldn't have minded a going home section. You know,
Yeah,
because or even a like you in 60 years with a beard in a cave somewhere. Like some sense of like I don't feel the story's over when you get on that pterodactyl. I feel like there should be a pterodactyl chase scene or there should be like I don't feel done. And when the game's only half an hour, another 15 minutes wouldn't have killed you. I'm not saying it needs to be a 20-hour epic, but
yeah. I think because
or one more cutscene or
there's no dialogue. There's no. I mean, there is kind of a story though.
mm-hmm,
This implied story where there's kind of the people are kind of maybe oppressed by this
mm-hmm,
ruler or whatever. It's really subtle, uh, but it's kind of like this ancient Roman almost thing because they've got those beasts in the cages and they've got a Colosseum and they put you in the Colosseum and you're in this tank and I have no idea how I beat that puzzle. I just hit buttons at random.
yeah,
But that kind of world building is so good because you just you feel that that's true about the world, but it
mm.
never tells you it never tells you anything.
Here's
But that makes it hard though, because then how do you wrap up a story that is based on implication?
I just got it. I've got the ending. I just came up with it.
Okay.
Okay? Tell me if you like this. Goes back to the main pool. see a guy climb out of it. Old man with a robe comes out and says, "Der burger burg," and points, and then
Yeah,
the new guy starts running. And it's just, somebody else now has to go through all this shit.
that's a good idea. I like
It
that.
calls back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It, you know,
A burka burk.
a burger burg. I don't remember what the guy says.
My
I know,
Charuba.
job, my Jaruba.
I want to see the my Charuba guy with the old man beard too.
Just, yeah, something like the two of them together, just waiting for people to come in so they can be like, my Jaruba, and just be
Yep.
like, yeah, we'll help new people get sucked here because
Right.
I don't know.
So we didn't like your points are valid about
Yeah,
not liking this game, and my points are valid about
yeah,
loving.
right,
It's
absolutely.
it's a great the things that are good about it are really good, and the things that are bad about it are pretty bad. Especially like I really want you to try it with the keyboard for like 10 minutes
I
and
will.
just see if it feels a little bit better.
I will.
And if you do it and you're mad at me,
I'm not gonna be mad
we
at you
didn't
for
spend
no.
another 10 minutes on it. You can tell me off in the YouTube comments later.
No, I'm surprised that like with action games, very rarely are you better off going with the keyboard. So
Yeah,
I am genuinely curious if you had a better time because you used the keyboard.
yeah, like that running jump he does. Like if you keep jumping, he does this kind of like bloop bloop leapfrog jump, and it makes it so much easier to get past so many of those jumpy kind of puzzle
Hmm.
things.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be
Yeah,
genuinely interesting.
because then you can focus on dying other ways.
Right. Well, and I might have enjoyed it more if I wasn't being defeated by the controls on top of a game tricking me into dying. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I always felt like what I was dealing with was uh, the immediate problems of the game, not the controls.
hmm
I can safely say that, and I'm somewhat sensitive to bad controls. Like when they're bad, I get frustrated. Uh,
hmm
oh boy,
oh,
Cannonball Blitz guy's on there now.
you're coming. Hang on. Gonna do that. All right.
There we go.
And now we do this little transition. Zoop. So our next, I'm just kind of cutting over to what our short games are, unless there's something else you wanted to say on this. But I feel like
No, I think we kicked it around.
I've yelled at it, you've supported it.
Yep, I think I've gone through all my notes. There's some nude alien butts in there, kids.
Crash. That's another point that was really funny. Is crashing into the bathhouse was
Yep.
hilarious. It has a it has a buddy comedy feel to it, like a '90s buddy comedy.
Right, like a
I
fish
can,
out of water buddy
yeah.
comedy. Yeah.
I wish I enjoyed it better. There's so many things in it that I'm like, man, I'm so close to loving you, but you ain't getting me there. You're pissing me off too many times.
Yeah, when I was 11, that was probably the only way I could see butts. So that's probably why I have so many fond memories of it.
Well, there's that. Plus, I mean, like, what did we have available to us at the time? Kind of answers and things too, you know.
There was nothing that surreal uh, that I ever remember playing. Death Maze and Out of This World were the two I think gaming experiences that made me really love the surreal.
Mm, I can see that. I'll have to think about, are there any that really drove it home for me, because I feel like I was into it beforehand.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, let's.
but Cannonball Blitz,
Cannonball Blitz is next
we
for our short game.
we cracked wise about this cover before, and then someone pointed out that he's sitting in a lazy boy
Yeah,
as well as drinking a Budweiser
yeah. No,
and has a joystick.
yeah. This is just a fantastic cover all the way
And I
around.
think I don't want to spoil anything, but I think the cover may be the high point of the.
You've already seen it, folks. Don't need to tune in next time. You've seen the
Yeah,
cover. It's all downhill from here. Um,
Yep, that's our
Uh,
short game, and our long game is finally a gold box
a gold
game.
box game. So, like, I actually wanted to kind of talk about that for a second because we have had some great requests lately. Daggerfall's been a recent request.
Good,
Cannot
good,
wait to get to that.
great
Um,
call.
Wizard's Crown has been requested, which is sort of the precursor to these games. Might and
Hmm.
Magic's been requested. Bard's Tales have been requested. We love your requests. All of I up till recently, I'd been trying to like every other game be a request, but we've gotten so many lately that kind of going forward, almost all our games are requests. I still reserve the right to just do one that we need to do to space things out correctly, but
Hmm.
I'm bringing all this up because with everything I've said, no one has ever requested the gold box, and
No,
that
no one
blows
has
my mind.
requested a single gold box game, and you should all be ashamed.
Shame,
Are you going to play
shame.
this on the Commodore? I'm going to play it on DOS because
I'm
that's
gonna
what
play
I.
it on DOS.
Yeah,
I'm toyed with playing it on the Amiga because the graphics are too sweet, but
Amiga
we
was
will.
so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm still not over growing up without an Amiga because it was so good. It looked
Oh
so good.
yeah.
It was so ahead of its time. But man,
Nah, but spendy.
spe-
No, the reason I'm going to do DOS for this is it looks good enough. It's from the VGA. I mean, we're not dealing with the EGA stuff, and we'll be playing the rest of these. So I'd like my characters to transition through.
hell yeah.
Um, we are still debating if this is a 2 month or 1 month. So next month you might get a how to play Pool of Radiance, or you might get the full thing. We'll probably give you guys a holler around when we talk about Cannonball Blitz, which way we're
I was going to start this early and I acquired it and started reading the manual.
going.
But then this is kind of your fault. You made me play Subnautica, and I haven't done anything with my spare
Yeah.
time. My apartment's a mess. All I've been doing is playing
I
Subnautica.
don't
So
even cook anymore. I just eat the
yeah,
wallpaper. Uh, yeah, no, it is kind of my fault. But Subnautica is amazing. It's to not do a retro discussion, but let's kind of sneak that in here for a second. Subnautica is a great game. It's the
if
proper kind of stress.
if you like survival games, and being underwater doesn't freak you out, it freaks me out in a good way.
Yes, that's what I was
It's
gonna say. It should
great.
freak you out. This is there's a survival horror aspect to it, but it's not zombies. Um, almost everything's underwater, but it's more like flight than an underwater level,
Yeah, but not like Descent.
but not like descent. So yeah, but it can be, but it's not. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, right. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it really drives you to like keep going and doing more and more and more,
hmm
uh, and feeding you a little bit of story as you go,
oh, the
which I
story and
really
the
like.
lore drop in it is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really well done. And like we played The Forest and loved it, and I
hmm
see those two compared quite a bit. And there's good story in The Forest, but it doesn't do as good a job as giving you nuggets and showing you new things that you didn't know were there, like Subnautica does. So I would say, man, if you got some time and a decent computer, give it a shot.
Subnautica's delivery of story, and I'm gonna get shit for this. Uh, I think is up there with System Shock. I think System Shock's still better,
Hmm.
but the way it delivers through uh, voice radio transmissions and data logs, and you slowly unlock this whole story of who your company is and where you're working and what's going on and why you are where you are and what you got to do next. And it gives you just enough information to point you in a direction without dragging you down it.
Right.
And just enough tools to get you close to where you need to go. And then you got to get out and push the rest of the way there just without the tools and just dive a little deeper and go a little further, and it's scary.
Yeah.
I
It pushes you to take risks in the
Yes,
right way.
yes, yes. So
And
uh,
it never, like I always worry about underwater stuff because it can seem so boring. Subnautica does not. For one, the underwater stuff doesn't get boring. Uh, and well, that's all I'll say.
yeah, I was gonna say the underwater stuff doesn't get
Redacted.
boring. But yeah, redacted. Like I think some of the first emails I sent you, I'm like, I'm about to go redacted at the redacted so that you can redact it because I didn't want to spoil any of it for you.
Right? It feels cool to find stuff and
Yeah.
I
Um,
really.
it's also colorful. It's amazingly colorful. It's it's a great combination of like colorful, bright, and cheery, but everything's trying to kill you. So
Yep.
this, without
Yeah.
it feeling kiddie and cartoonish, it feels real. Um, it also has a good sense of humor. Your radio transmission person is hilarious.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Good base building.
good
Uh,
base building.
really a great modern game.
hmm No, if you're looking for something more modern to play, I recommend Subnautica. But yeah, if you're not, join us next month for Pool of Radiance and play along with us.
An official Advanced Dungeons and Dragons computer
Yes,
product.
one of the best. I still think Curse is better, but we got to do this to get to Curse. So
Yeah, right. It's canon.
canon. All right. Anything else we need? Anything else we want to do? Anything?
No,
Anything? All right.
got off on a tangent, which is good.
Yeah, that's us. We actually were pretty focused through most of this. So a little end tangent is everybody's like, "Shut up! I want to watch something else." It's YouTube. You could have stopped like 5 minutes ago. You don't have to listen to
Yeah,
us.
they probably missed
It's not our fault. That's on you. All right.
yeah. You missed out on Subnautica losers.
And the other thing I'm going to say, I'm betting I didn't have incessant laughter this time. I'm betting I didn't laugh a whole lot.
Yeah, that one guy. I still remember his name. I don't want to name
No,
names.
no, I don't want to name it. I just find it really funny. Because I do
Yep.
laugh a lot. I enjoy the show.
Sounds so funny.
Yeah. All right. All right. On that note,
Yep.
bye
Thanks, everyone.
everybody.